wish I was in focus. I am like the baddie, the bad woman out of Superman 3. Hello, I'm Mercurial Mercenary. Welcome to episode 4 of the Mercury Music Prize 2018, where 200 albums were whittled down to 12. 12 nominees for the Mercury Music Prize 2018. There will be a panel on the night that decides who the winner is. But before that happens, Bill Ryan from New Jersey and me from England are going to review these albums. We're doing it in alphabetical order, my mercenaries. And today, right now, I've forgotten to change my top.
He wears the same clothes every day. Don't let him fool you. We call him Same Clothes Every Day 6.
Wait a minute.
What will people think? Oh my God. Jesus. You're dressed like Vince and whatever it was in Pulp Fiction when after they went in the garage and they hosed him down and they gave him the clothes.
Bill Ryan and I are going to review Florence and the Machine's album.
High as Hope.
No, what's the album called?
High as Hope.
What's the album called?
High.
Oh, it's called that.
Yes!
We're going to review Florence and the Machine's album, Selling England by the Pound. Bill, can I just, right, before we start, holy shit, I said it was 60 degrees in here right now, and you said to me that you don't understand that. That sounds cool. And
that's
you said about
140 degrees Fahrenheit.
140 degrees Fahrenheit. Do you realise that you can cook the backside of a chicken in 140 degrees Fahrenheit?
I did.
The Parson's nose. I wanted to say one thing.
This is going great so far.
I wanted to say one thing, right? Hear me out here. Florence and the Machine. Now, I don't know whether Florence and the Machine are known in America or not. They are massive here because I think last year or the year before, I can't quite remember, but they headlined Glastonbury. And I watched that performance. I got to lay my cards on. I've got sweat on my actual glasses here. I can't. It's like I'm swimming underwater, but it's fine. I'm a professional. I can get through it. I don't even mention it.
But you just mentioned it.
I know. I'm not that professional. I don't own anything by Florence and the Machine. I would never own anything by Florence and the Machine. I hear her hit songs on the radio. In fact, there's one song that really annoys me by Florence and the Machine. And I told someone the other day that I hate that song by Florence and the Machine. And they said to me, that's not by Florence and the Machine. So I'm not even sure who Florence and the Machine are. That doesn't help this video. I don't like her caterwailing. I don't like it. I don't like all that. It's like Mariah Carey, but 1,000 times worse. I don't like her. I don't like any of her albums. I watched her at Glastonbury on my telly, and I didn't like her. So I was almost going to not do this whole Mercury Prize 2018 because I didn't want to listen to this album and Noel Gallagher's album, but we'll talk about that later. So the thought of having to listen to this album filled me with trepidation. And I realised I had to listen to it because I didn't want to do a Matthew Wright. Matthew Wright's a bloke over here who's on the telly. And he did a theatre review where he reviewed a theatre show, but he never saw it. He just reviewed it anyway. He just made it up. And I realised, I said to Perfect 10 that I could actually not listen to this album and just make it up. But I listened to it. I'm going to finish in a minute. But I listened to it. And I didn't hate it.
I loved when this album was over. Here, I had never heard her before. This is the first album that I've heard from her, so I don't know if it's a big departure.
Let me just butt in 1 minute. I know I've spoken for 5 minutes, but that's interesting. They're massive here. So just elaborate on the fact that in America, you don't know her.
Well, no, I will say I don't know if it's America because I can say my better half, she likes her, so she knows of her. I think if you listen to like Top 40 radio, you probably do know of her. I don't, so I didn't. I can say, like, so I said, Shar loves her. I know other, I think my sister-in-law likes her. That doesn't distract me at all when you do that. But my thing is this. When I listen to this album, it's got huge stadium anthem choruses. It's really big, and it's all kind of power ballads. And I can sort of see the audience for this, and I'm sure that there are people that this hits right between the eyes. I can see why she sells a lot of records. I'm not saying that I think she's a bad artist. I do think she's got a great voice. For my ears, I felt like you had a formula. You start off with her singing with a minimal backing, whether it be piano or some sparse instrumentation, and then she hits him for the big stadium chorus. And I felt like most of the time, those choruses weren't built on melody. They were built on her great ability to bring energy. So she would bring the, now I'm really going, and everything would swell up. And I get why people like that, but to me, it seemed very formulaic. I liked June, the first song, and I liked Patricia, I thought had a really good chorus. Other than that, I felt like I've heard this before. Like, I felt like if you told me this was another artist or an album from 10 years ago, I wouldn't question it. I felt like the lyrics weren't bad. They were very autobiographical, but they weren't amazing. They were good. There was good imagery, but nothing stood out to me. And I'm not a power ballad guy, so that was probably unfair towards her, that it really isn't my cup of tea. But I felt like she was living, she has a great voice and she has a great presence, and she sort of has this trick where I'm going to sing this thing and now we're going to like give the full throttle vocal to it. And I felt like every song was just that again and again and again, with very few melodies that stood out to me or I felt were worth the bombast, so to speak.
That's probably a take on it from someone who hasn't had to live through Florence and the Machine for the last half a decade or so, on the radio all the time, headlining Glastonbury. For me, I don't own anything by her. I don't like her. I don't listen to her. But I thought her previous stuff was quite bombastic and power ballady. I thought this album actually sounded like it was like her personal album. It sounded like it's probably meant to be her like her diary set to music. So I'm surprised you thought it was power ballady.
But yeah, but I got that impression. But how many songs can you think of that started softly and with like a diary that didn't have that big bombastic power ballad chorus?
Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe. I think the thing that saved it for me was that she didn't do her usual thing, which is just wailing. She didn't do a lot of that. But she did do a lot of that. When someone can't just sing a lyric, they have to go. Hallowed be thy name.
It's not that I minded that as much as I just thought she had this trick. You know, towards the end of the album, there was a song called "The End of Love," and I went, "Oh no!" On this kind of album, I know what that song's going to be. And then it started with like the THX sound, like when you're watching a movie, like almost like a horror movie, and it was like shaking your speak. Yeah, and I thought, "Oh, cool! Let's see what she does with this." And then the piano started, and she started, and the lyrics weren't as bad as I thought. I'll give her credit for. And that song, "The End of Love," I really thought we were going to get to Saccharine City, but she didn't. I'll give her credit. But it was, let's start with the piano, and now we're going to build to the big chorus again. Yeah. And I felt like how many? There are a few exceptions, but how many songs can be described that way? And how many, if you took away the bombast, does the melody constitute that being a chorus? Where I feel like it's giving a basic chord progression, but because she's, and now we're epic, it's supposed to be a big, huge, that nostril is going to, oh my God.
It's been like that
for 4 days
you,
now. Six.
Okay. Yes. This is the album that I did not want to listen to. This should be the easiest album for me to slate. Like I said, I didn't hate it. And I said to the Perfect 10 when I listened to it once, I said, yes, I didn't hate it, but I will never, ever listen to that again. But today, before we did this, I put it on loop and I listened to it twice through again. So I've now listened to it 3 times. And I can appreciate it. To me, it was interchangeable with Adele. If you wiped her vocal off and you replaced it with Adele, that is doable, and it would be a better album for it, but it's doable.
I felt that way, especially with. I was gonna say I felt that way, especially with the song Patricia. But I feel like Adele tends to have more hooks. Like when I listen to an Adele chorus, I go, "Well, that's a good chorus." Where with this, I felt like, for the most part, that the energy of it was there, but not the actual hook.
Oh, I think she's got. Yeah, no. I suppose I agree with you. She's got the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I just look, let's be honest here. I don't own anything by Adele either, right? But I think I prefer Adele. If I'm talking about like generic, like not even generic, Adele is actually good. I mean, it would be wrong of me to say she isn't, but I think when you talk about like commercial women singers, I think I prefer the Adele sound. I think there's something about this girl's voice that just does my head in. But
it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me bored.
I didn't hate it, and on the 3rd listen, I quite liked it. And I think the problem here is this sums me up. I also do a series called Discover where I listen to. Anyway, I've listened to a lot of music over the last couple of years, and I think the problem with me is if I listen to something enough, I see the good in it. So
sure.
I have the feeling, I hate a band called Keane as well, but I have the feeling that if I listen to Keane more than once, I'd probably end up going, it's all right. So it's dangerous with me. It's dangerous. I'm actually better.
I mean, I seem like I'm really ripping this album apart, but I can certainly see why she sells a lot of records and why she probably is a millionaire. I mean, she has a great voice. She does have the energy. Those songs are stadium songs. I can picture them all. And listening, to be fair, I thought I can see who would like this. I can see, and maybe if I was in a different time in my life, or if I related a little more to what she was singing about, maybe this would be more powerful to me. So I can definitely see why people like it. My thought is, though, if we're talking about the Mercury Prize, as an American, I look at British music. I look at the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath. There are so many acts that have come and just changed the way that the world makes and listens to music, that if there's a prize for British music, I need either, first and foremost, great songwriting and a great album, and 2, I think I need something a little different, and not necessarily even innovative, but something that doesn't sound like you said, that you could plug in and put in another singer and it would be just about the same thing. Yeah, I feel like I heard this album before I heard.
I can see that. I've got 2, I suppose, final points really, which is I think this is an album that women will like.
Oh yeah.
I think we, the bold American and the ugly British bloke, I don't think we're the target audience, mate. I think we're missing a trick here. I think the wives might like this.
I agree. I think my wife does like this.
The Perfect 10, definitely, I could tell. She tries to agree with me, so she's happily agreed with me for a long time that Florence and the Machine is shit. And I built this up, and I said, I've got to listen to this album, I'm so sorry. It's Florence and the Machine, I know. And she doesn't like caterwailing either, right? I put it on, and we both sat there on our like corner sofa thing. So I'm lying here, and she's lying there. And I look across at her, and I think, you're liking this. You're liking this. And it gets to the end, and I say, well, I didn't hate it. And she goes, yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? And I thought, you liked it. I think women, I think women like this.
I agree. And mine did not like my I wish the machine was a trash compactor joke. And don't take me seriously. I didn't mean that. But she didn't care for that. But I just thought it was funny. That's why I said it.
It was a good joke, you know. It was a good joke. Yeah. Trash compactor. It's good. It's like that trash compactor, if it's not already, should be a death metal band name. Trash compactor.
Trash compactor.
Oh no,
trash
actually,
compactor.
Virgin raped trash compactor. Virgin raped trash compactor with
trash
blood.
Compactor
And blood and entrails. Entrails. Entrails.
No, not just blood. Trash compactor blood. Oh yeah, trash compactor entrails.
Virgin entrails
was my nickname in college.
Funny enough, this is where we've got something in common, because my nickname at school was Virgin Entrails Trash Compactor. Except we called it Rubbish Compactor, because we don't know what trash is over here. My second point was there was moments on this album. This is a very silly point now. You know when we spoke about the Arctic Monkeys, right? And I said how you need to listen to the Monster Trucks, because it sounds like Pet Sounds. This album, I can't tell you which songs because it's Florence and the Machine and I didn't give a shit, but this album had songs on it that sounded, the instrumentation and the trumpets and stuff, the instrumentation sounded just like Van Morrison's Astral Weeks from the 60s. There was some really beautiful stuff going on here. There was some really beautiful stuff going on here, and I hate to say it, but yeah, I didn't hate it. And I hate Florence and the Machine, but after listening to this album, I'm not sure why I hate them. Do you ever have like an irrational hatred of a band?
I think that you put it well when you said this is not for us. And I think it's that simple. I don't hate her or the group. I just feel like, okay, this is not for me.
This is not for us. But I didn't hate it. Now, the question is, I suppose, do I like this album better than Everything Is Recorded? Because although I'm not a fan of Florence and the Machine, I could appreciate this album. And you're right, the first song, June, I think it was called.
Yeah.
That was quite nice. I think the last track was quite nice. There were moments during this where I actually thought, not only do I not hate this, I quite like it. I don't like her voice, which is a big deal. So as we're ranking these albums now, holy shit, it's hot in here. As we're ranking it, I've got Lights there. I've got Heat. It's compacted. It's a trash compactor.
With Virgin and Trail.
So the question is, should I rank an album that has a singular voice, a personal experience, a diary kind of like experience, a personal thing with Astral Weeks kind of backing, but personal, singular, I'm telling you a story down the camera, Kate Bush style, whatever. Is that better than the £73 million bloke who gets his friends into the studio and whacks off?
Which would you rather listen to?
Oh, there's a question.
Well, my thought is, we're talking about this, and I get what you're saying, but my thing is, this is music, and I'd like to think if we ever make music, people judge us if they like it or not. And so I'm going to judge these on what I like. And you could, if someone says on this, hey, that's not fair. You said you don't like power ballads and you don't like this. It's not fair. You're right, but I can't then put away what I don't like. I'm not being mean and just saying I don't like this, so I'm not going to rank it. But I'm saying I didn't enjoy listening to this much, and I think that there are things on Everything Is Recorded that are more different or innovative from what I've seen that's playing in popular music. Now there are also things that I've heard before, but I point to that one song. I don't hear anything like that out there, so I think that should be kind of given a spotlight more than you guzzling down huge amounts of Southern Comfort while you're already overheated and don't have much food in your stomach.
So, in your opinion,
Yes.
Everything Is Recorded is a better album than this one?
There are going to be people out there that disagree, but to me, if I'm ranking it for this prize, yes. Okay. No, I think there are men that like it too. I mean, I think I could see men who would identify with certain things, and you know.
I wonder if I'm so easily turned. That's the thing. I wonder if I've been wrong, because she's obviously got talent, and she didn't cat a whale on this one. No, do you know what? Yeah, I could quite happily never listen to her ever again. Yeah, I could quite happily never listen to her ever again. And I would rather listen to Everything Is Recorded, the final song, with Sampha on Everything Is Recorded. There were moments I'm torn, mate. I'm torn. There were moments on this album, especially on the third listen, where I was starting to turn.
There's nothing wrong if you liked it.
Pull me back. Pull me back. Pull me back.
I feel like you should go with your gut. Go with your gut. If your gut tells you that you liked her album better than Everything Is Recorded, give her due. I mean, I feel like she should sell 1 million records and enjoy a fruitful career, but I feel like I heard the album before. I think that you hate the Everything Is Recorded because he has all that money and you feel like he's buying the award. So you're trying to convince yourself that you like something you dislike even more, because you don't want to see what you see as some rich bastard.
Are you certain? Are you certain that Everything Is Recorded was a better album than this one? More cohesive, a better album.
No, it's definitely not.
Was it? Because it wasn't a great album, was it? It wasn't a great album.
It's definitely not more cohesive. I would say that Florence and the Machine is more cohesive, but I would say I got kind of tired of that formula by the end of Florence and the Machine.
Have we given this a score or not yet?
No, you have not.
Right. First place so far is Everything Everything.
Yep.
Categorical. Second place is Arctic Monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
So, third place, Everything Is Recorded. Fourth place, Florence and the Machine. Oh, we both agreed so far on the order.
So for me, Florence and the Machine would be in first place. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're agreed.
It's a cad and a bounder. A cad and a
and I will say as a caveat, if someone's watching this and they're a big fan of Florence, I don't think it's a bad album, and I think that I can see a lot of people that would really enjoy it. I think she's very talented. It's not a slight on her. It's just honestly how I feel about her particular style on this album, as I haven't heard her older stuff. Maybe I would like that. I don't know.
Okay, so we're in agreement then, basically. I'm still torn. I'm still torn because I think this is a better album than Everything Is Recorded.
Well, we have some more videos we'll be doing in the coming days, so you will have time. You can change your mind.
You understand what I mean? I think it's a better album, but I think there's better songs on Everything Is Recorded, but I think this is a better album. I think the album should be celebrated.
If there were both of them, and you said one of them's going to represent Britain, which one would you pick?
Yeah, this is a problem. Southern Comfort makes you appreciate bands that you hate. Everything Is Recorded.
We need to give New Kids on the Block another chance.
You know, Everything Is Recorded is a vanity project by a £73 million producer. Florence and the Machine is...
See, wait, let's stop you there. And I'm gonna say, let's cut away. I don't think, who cares what the project was? For me, it's what do I hear when I hit play?
So you can be a rich bloke and your vanity project could win the Mercury Prize.
Well, the great thing about music is, does it sound good? That's all I care about.
Yes,
does it sound good?
Everything is recorded. The final track on Everything is Recorded is so good that I spent the whole day singing it. Everything is recorded. Something else. Everything's recorded. Everything's distorted. Yeah. Okay. Everything's Recorded is a better album. So I give Florence and the Machine a 2130.
I like
and I hate that band. So appreciate that I've really struggled there. And that's why we've taken an extra 20 minutes to discuss this album, because I've struggled.
We've taken an extra 20 minutes.
This album should have got a 6 o'clock. What are you gonna give it?
I would go one tick down. So it would tie it with Everything Is Recorded, but I would give the edge to Everything Is Recorded.
Are you giving it a 2000?
Look, I'm not in the military right at this moment, so I'm
giving it
giving
8 o'clock?
a 940 or whatever was the
same.
840, whatever the
You're giving
one,
it the same as Everything Is Recorded.
Yeah, and then I'm giving the edge to Everything Is Recorded because I won't tire because
give it a minute less then. Give it 2039.
30 seconds less.
2039 and 30 seconds. I'm going to put that on my screen now.
Because she did make a good album in the sense of that, lot of energy, a lot of stadium songs. It's not a bad album, but I like the innovation, and I like a few more songs better on Everything Is Recorded. Jesus. You are going to be like, you're going to have a heat stroke.
In a minute, I will like, oh God, who do I hate? I hate Florence and the Machine. Can't stand that band.
You'll be like, you know who wasn't that bad? Stalin. Now that I think about it, was he really that bad? Was he really that? When you really think about it, he did stop the German.
What did the Romans ever do for us? I think that's okay. Right. Until next time. What's the next album going to be, Bill? Lost and Found by Georgia Smith. I've never heard of her. I think it's a her. And she might be good, Bill.
Possibly.
She can take the first place. At the moment, the first place is Everything.
Yep.
But I have a feeling that Everything will be displaced.
Isn't it weird that first place is Everything, but then Everything Is Recorded is not? So first place is Everything, but not everything.
I mean, it's not the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life. Over. Okay, my mercenaries. Till next time. Over. Till next time, my mercenaries. Over. And
see you later, innovators.
See you later, innovators. Over and out. No, not out. Ow. Ah! Ah! You're a twat.
All right, and I hit stop.